All right. Okay, so I'm recording this video. Oops. Um, because I'm not able to hold class tonight, and so you guys can review it and watch it. I didn't really give anybody notice, but I posted the link if people wanted to join, and they're free. And this will be uploaded to YouTube and be posted for everyone to watch later on. To get ready for the week. Okay, so first things first, we're going to take a look at the NASDAQ. So for the NASDAQ, we just take an overall look at things going into this week. So looking at this, you can see um, we broke the most recent high here, which is obvious. We broke that, um, continuing our uptrend, and now are just pushed into new all-time highs. And so, um, same thing with SPY. Broke out, made a new high, and we are at now all-time highs. Um, and we've been talking about this for a while, that we were looking for this move here. Really ever since back here, we've been looking for it. Especially when this weekly squeeze started to fire off. That was kind of a obvious sign that we would probably head up to this all-time high area. So new all-time high in the S&P, new all-time high close for S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. Okay, so that's first. Next, I don't think there's any reason to be looking to short this market. Um, and there's a few reasons why, right? I had posted, let me unshare my screen real quick. So let's see, one moment. Okay, so I had posted in the Discord. I had posted it here. That if you look at this is IG markets. It's a big forex market, CDF trader, and they give percentages on how many people are long, how many people are short certain markets, right? And so it says 70% of retail accounts lose money with this broker, right? And that's pretty standard, actually. That may be pretty low, um, a low fail rate, right? But here you can see 76% of the market is short, and we are at all-time highs. So that's something that really does not make sense to me. And I don't really understand why anybody would be trying to go short this market, because we're at all-time highs. Like if something is going up and it's clearly going up, why would we try to short it? Right? So that's the first thing, and kind of the main thing. So if anything, I'm looking to go long. Another reason is we have a daily squeeze. You can see that on NQ. You can see that on ES. And we're starting to get that momentum shift, and we may be getting the breakout here. So on top of that, when we're looking at the overall picture, right, we don't really have any resistance. I mean, I don't know why my charts look like this for ES, but like if you look at SPY, we are at all-time highs. You look at SPX, we're at all-time highs. So I'm thinking that we continue this momentum and continue this move upside, and we get this for the next couple weeks or so. Let the squeeze fire. Then from there, it's about 6 to 10 bars of pretty nice upside price action. So that's number one. On top of that, you can see here that we haven't even fired yet. So we're gonna probably continue this upside. Something that I'm kind of looking out for that we may go hit is this 8,000 or 18,000 level on NQ. ES, I'm thinking obvious target 5,000. If we look at SPX, it's going to be a similar target of about 5,000 right here. So I am looking for ES to move to 5,000 relatively quickly. It's not going to go up in a straight line, just like this wasn't up in a straight line, this entire move up, but a pretty aggressive move to that 5,000. I think a lot of people are probably gunning for that now that we hit all-time highs. Obviously, this may change, but right now, that's what I'm thinking is the most obvious price that we may go target, right? After all-time highs, this is the next thing to pay attention to. So that's kind of my analysis on the overall market. I think that we're going to be presented with some pretty good day trading opportunities because of that daily squeeze. It's going to be a release of momentum on the daily time frame, so it's going to be lasting. Like we will probably have pretty consistent amount of trending days where we continue to move upside. So I'm thinking that is going to be the same thing, or that will be helpful for us when we are day trading, right? We will get this nice trending price action like this. And that was kind of my idea going into Friday. And we were able to catch with the chat on Friday. We got in, actually, it was here on this red candle. We got in on an entry at this level here at 17 to 16. And we took profit somewhere up here, or well, not somewhere up here, but right here on a trending day. So our goal was to catch one of those trending days, and we did, and we were able to catch this move. It was about 220 points, and on a 25-point stop loss. So I'm kind of going to be looking for similar days like that in the next few weeks because of this daily squeeze that is looking to fire off. So that's the overall analysis on uh, the S&P and the NASDAQ. So I'm going to be more focused on the NASDAQ. It seems to be leading the market. We've got this nice psych level right here that we're about 562 points away from. So we've got some pretty good upside. So one thing that you can pay attention to is if you're thinking in terms of QQQ, if you are like an options trader or shares trader, what I'm thinking is we'll probably have 562 divided by 40 because 40 points in NQ roughly equals $1 in QQQ. So we're looking for about $14 more in upside. So if we take that and look at QQQ, we can see if we have any relevant levels that we're going to be coming up on soon. I mean, there's 450, but that's a little bit higher, and that might be a little too extended. But I do think I think 440, 430 is probably obvious. And then I'm mainly going to be paying attention to these charts. But I mean, a $15 move from here would be about to 435. So somewhere right in this area. So that could be a relevant target for you if you trade those. But I'm going to be paying attention to NQ and ES and what they're doing. So that's that. Looking at market internals, we can see that the put call ratio is now in pretty neutral territory. So we have plenty of room to continue upside. we're not overextended on either way. I mean, we got to below that 0.8, but we'd never really had a significant pullback. So we are pretty good position to continue the all clear. Now you can see here, everybody got bearish on Wednesday, and you can kind of see what happened on Wednesday right after what triggered the move up. So that put call ratio got really high, sucked all the shorts in for whatever reason. I'm not sure why. But then typically you will see this very often in the markets. You will see a high put call ratio reading, and then a long setup show up as well. And then that, like, okay, so say we're in a squeeze and it's bullish like this, stacked EMAs, bullish looking squeeze, uptrend, and then we have a squeeze. And then you'll usually get, a lot of the times you'll get a very bearish put call, meaning like there's a ton of people in puts, and that will typically trigger the upside move for the squeeze with those higher time frame squeezes like the 4 hour daily, stuff like that. So you can see that happen kind of a lot. Like if we go look here on Wednesday, the 4th of October, that's the day that we got this. Here's the 4th, and then we got the bounce, this bounce up. This one was a lot cleaner, right? So that's just an example. I've done a class on this, plenty of classes on this, so I'm not going to dive too much into it, but you can see here, high put call ratio reading was this day, and then the following days preceding, we had some really nice upside moves. Okay, so put call right now, not giving us any signals. It's looked fine for more upside based on the charts, right? um, dollar looks like he's trying to reverse. Uh, we'll see what it ends up doing. We can look at more of the time frames here. So we've got, we're kind of just sloppy right now. So this may just be a rejection. So there's two things that could happen here. We could be having a bounce at this support area, and maybe we are now heading back to kind of this upside range right around here of like that there. So we might just continue to be in this range for a while. That's number one. Number two, we could just be back testing the EMAs after they cross negative. You can see here they cross positive, then tried to back test them, failed. Now this is a second back test, and looking at structure, you can see here lower high or lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Let's see if this prints a lower high. And then if it breaks this low, we should see some pretty nice downside that would result in a lot of easing pressure for tech stocks in the overall market. So VIX seems to be making higher highs. So that is a little bit concerning. I don't put too much weight on the VIX. I will check it from time to time, but this chart is just showing higher highs and higher lows. So we'll see. That's kind of interesting. But where do we have support? See, we've got major support right around here. So I wouldn't be surprised if we actually go and tag that 1150. And then if we do that, you can expect and break through that, we could probably pop down to that $10 mark. Um, and from there, we can throw ZB on here. It's treasury bonds. Let's see. That on there. Okay, so this we're looking like That. So for the T-bond futures, this looks like a pullback and an uptrend. We can check the weekly time frame, and we'll see if this holds. Weekly still holds bearish, but it may be reversing. Let's see what this ends up doing. If this is the beginning of a new downtrend or it's a really ugly looking bear flag. Right now, I'm thinking this is just sloppy, right? It's about as sloppy as the US dollar. So there's not too much to tell from this as well. All of these are kind of unclear. The only thing that is clear is that the market is in an uptrend, and that's how we have to continue to play it. We've got this weekly squeeze. That's why we've been seeing this great price action. It's fired off, and we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars into this. So we've got 1 to 5 more weeks of probably pretty good price action. So that's the overall market look. We can take a quick look at stocks. So Mag 7, let's take a look at these. So these are just the key names that everyone likes to pay attention to. We had a really nice double bottom here on Apple, and that breakout, we're continuing to push higher. Wouldn't be surprised if we just continued a continued buyers step into the earnings report, just have that earnings run up. Wouldn't be surprised to see that. Tesla, a little bit, seems like it may be dead in the water until earnings. But if anything, I would expect it to continue to trail down. I wouldn't enter it here, but I would continue to trail my stops based on the previous candle that made a new low, trail it with the top of that high, right? Or wait for the momentum to shift on the squeeze. Now it's still continuing. NVIDIA, this one's just a beast. We are up at $600, just about. We're really close. We had this one on the watch list for a while now, and we had been saying once it breaks that 500, it was going to be a blow off top, and it certainly was. And we had an extremely nice breakout on this trade. So, I mean, I think 600 may be a pausing point, but if I was in this and I was long, I would not be looking to get out. I would just be trailing my stops and play it until it's over, because this is a really, really great move, and you don't want to get out of a good position. And you can see, obviously, we're headed into earnings season. NVIDIA always reports pretty late, but all these other big names are kind of reporting here soon. You can see here, we had that break and retest of Amazon's 150 level, and now we're going to look to take out this high here. So keep an eye on that. This is just in a nice uptrend, and it's probably going to continue to move in its uptrend and eventually make its way back to all-time highs, and then after that 200. I don't have a time frame on this, but it's just in a clean uptrend, so any dip buying would probably be wise. Meta, excellent looking chart. This one right there, it looks like. Did it make all-time highs yet? Nope, it's just a few cents off from making an all-time high. So let's see. Did it? 384.36. Wow. So it did make a new all-time high. So this one, excellent chart, just continuing to push. So I would not be looking for this to do anything different. Just like the rest of these charts, all of them are in great uptrends heading into earnings. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a run in earnings for all of these. Yep, all these charts are having great moves up. And so you would look for that continued strength in the NASDAQ. All these things are exploding. AMD back at all-time highs. Very impressive. I don't think many things are far from all-time highs. AMD's up there. Google's almost there, so this may be one that I look to play. This is probably top on my watch list. If I can get a pullback, I'd look to play it up into that new all-time high. And you look at the weekly, great looking weekly squeeze. We've got the momentum shifting to the upside, and it looks like it's just a matter of time before we hit a new all-time high. And Microsoft, similar, bull-flag breakout, and we're about to go tap that $400 price target. And yeah, so that's kind of my analysis on the markets this week. I'm definitely bullish. I think we're going to continue upside, and I'm going to play it like that, and mainly focusing on the NASDAQ and tech stocks. I'm looking for that push up to that 1800. There's nothing to be bearish about. We're in a clear uptrend. I don't know the case that could be made that we would be bearish, but we are continuing to push and make new highs. We just made all-time highs, so I'm going to follow the trend. I'm going to follow what price is actually doing and not try to be a top picker, and just follow the trend. And I think those key psychological levels are going to act as magnets. But all right, guys, thank you for watching. If you have questions, let me know and message me in the chat, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks.